What is going on, people? Welcome back to the Top Tier Podcast.
Woo!
This is
Let's go, baby.
this. Oh shit!
I'm
You
sorry,
ready?
I'm sorry. I'm just
You
trying to
ready?
get. I'm trying to get Billy a little
You
bit.
still got all that energy after
know,
that
I'm
fucking
good.
marathon episode?
I'm good. That
we
was
just did?
actually a really good episode.
That was a fun
Fast,
episode.
though,
That was a great
actually.
episode.
It went by so quickly.
Went by really quick. Well, we had so much material to work with. too.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's going to be the same in this episode because this is a very special episode of the Top Tier Podcast.
Woo!
First ever entire episode dedicated to Behr and I's E3 predictions.
Oh, then I shouldn't be here.
Well, you're just going to be here in
I'm gonna
in
bring
spirit.
up my predictions.
Except
here
you're
for
actually
you
going
guys.
to physically be here as well.
Okay.
Anyways, my name is Brendan. You can, of course, find me on the YouTubes at youtube.com/Retel Factor. You can find this show, the Top Tier Podcast, over at youtube.com/Top Tier Podcast. With me today, Esports Money Beirut
What's going on, guys?
and Billy, the Whin Whin.
Just gonna shut up after this introduction.
And that's the last you'll be hearing of Billy.
I'm gonna look through my phone and
No, Billy,
No,
stay
we
with
want to
us.
hear your thoughts.
what thoughts?
Billy's finished more games than both of us combined in the last year. All right, let's.
What games?
all
What are
right,
you guys talking
know,
about?
Persona, you got the Dynasty Warriors Platinum. I'd be watching you. Don't talk to me.
got
But this is a huge episode, man.
It's
This
a
is
big episode.
This is a really big deal. This is Christmas for gamers.
It is.
As many people have always called it. David Jaffe, I think, coined that term. It's just so exciting.
Yeah.
It's always an
Because-
excited time to find out the reveals, find out what the companies are up to, and I'm fucking stoked.
I'm a huge nerd, so yeah,
Yeah.
this is my fucking Christmas, and
Yes,
it
it is.
just so happens to have worked out that I have the whole week off as well, and
That's awesome.
for E3. So I'm so excited, like it's gonna be a blast, man, and I can't wait. And of course, so we're recording this episode in advance. So this episode actually goes live on the 29th. So it's about 2 weeks removed from E3.
Yep.
So especially recently, there's been, like in the last couple of E3s, there's always fucking leaks.
Yeah.
So some of the shit that we might predict could be totally off the mark.
Yeah. Oh,
or
yeah,
can,
for sure.
can immediately get refuted before this episode even goes live.
This was
Yes,
recorded
so we
on May
apologize.
18th at 10:32.
So we're recording this on May 18th.
Pacific Standard Time.
So at around, right
Really?
now, we're just about 4 weeks, almost 3.5 weeks away from the start of E3.
very
right?
far away.
So we've got a little bit of time, but yeah. So by the time this goes up, though, E3 hype will be at its at its peak. It's going to be very high. So, fuck, man, I can't.
Lots, yeah. The
There's
only
lots-
thing, the
lots
only
to talk
leak that has happened so far is a potential, which a lot of people are calling fake,
The Nintendo one,
Nintendo
right? Yeah.
schedule leak for Treehouse and their live show. There's a lot of little things on there, but it just seems a little shady.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Definitely. There
I
was like an
didn't,
F-Zero game on there made by Platinum Games,
Yeah,
which is really weird.
Right?
Don't get me wrong. I'm going to fucking jump out my seat if there's an
any
F-Zero.
F-Zero game, sure,
Oh
that's
my-
dope. I don't care who's making it. Well, I kind of care who's making it,
Yeah.
but Platinum Games, they don't make racing games.
They don't make racing games, but hey, who knows? Maybe
Maybe.
they wanted to, and maybe Nintendo trusted them with this IP that they've been keeping in the closet for almost 10 years now.
What
It
was
has probably has been,
F-Zero GX, was that the last one, dude?
and that was probably 2003
Great game.
or 4 or
Fucking
something.
awesome game.
So it's been more than
15 years. It's been
Yeah.
about 15 years.
crazy,
Which is
fucking
insane,
crazy. Which
because
is insane. It's just not.
Because it's a game that we love.
I love, dude.
We
It's
love that game.
top 3 GameCube games for me.
Oh, 100%.
Top 3.
And dude, it aged so well. It's still so fucking
good,
fun
dude.
to go back and play. And it feels faster than just about any racing game,
Mm-hmm.
modern racing game, because it's 60 frames per second. You are going so insanely fast.
At the time, it was progressive scan, which is
Yeah.
a pretty big deal. I know for now we're so used to 4K and 1080p,
Yeah, yeah.
but progressive scan, like those older games look great.
Yeah.
Like Twin Snakes looks amazing in progressive scan
Nice.
still. So, fuck yeah, that's just
Yeah,
one. That's
F-Zero.
one.
We played that on the 24-hour stream. We had a great time
Love that game.
last year.
Yes, we had.
Really never. One thing about that game that I'll just close off is that game is actually super advanced. It had like the same issues that Melee had, where people kind of found exploits. So there was a technique called snaking in that game, where you were able to just increase like insane speeds.
Really?
So go like twice as fast as you normally would. But
Snacking.
yeah, I've never mastered it or anything like that. I was never that hardcore, but it's so cool that you can do that. Yeah. Anyways, let's go. Predictions, Retel.
All right. So this is the format for our predictions, all right?
Okay.
So we're going to go and there's 4 categories. Okay? So there's
Yeah.
Nintendo, there's Sony, Microsoft, and then third party category. Okay.
Okay. Oh,
And
third party. Damn, I didn't think this through very much, actually. But like Retel told me last minute, I definitely have some things, some ideas of what I think I'm going to see, some crazy predictions.
Yeah.
But I wish I had like a solid few hours
Yeah.
to like.
For sure. Like I tried to, even mine, some are ridiculous, and I'm trying to steer clear from like shit that's obvious. You know what I mean? So let's start with Nintendo. We'll go through. Like I'll start with mine, and you can go like, well, I'll list one of mine, then you can list one of yours, and we'll kind of just go back and forth. And then we'll go through all of Nintendo, and then we'll work our way.
Sure.
We'll work our way
Let's do
through.
it.
Okay.
Go for it.
Nintendo. My first prediction is at E3
Yep.
2018. Animal Crossing for Switch is announced and is out this fall. This is one of their big fall games.
This fall. That's a very smart prediction. I had that actually as my first one as well. I had it.
Are you serious?
I had it as Animal Crossing release date. I didn't really say it, but I think they were going to show the game. I definitely think so, just because of just the way certain Nintendo employees have been talking about it, and there's
Insider.
this
Inside information. This is bullshit.
No. That's not insider. Just I've just been seeing some stuff. All right. So there has to be if there's no Animal Crossing, I'm going to be really shocked. And it's a huge deal. I mean, look at how big this franchise has gone.
It's such a big deal. Like Animal Crossing has kind of like under the radar has become one of their biggest fucking franchises.
For sure.
Which is kind of insane. Like, everyone's talking about Metroid and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm so stoked for the next Metroid Prime. There's no way it's this year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's this year, and Animal Crossing is going to move way more units than Metroid. I love Metroid, but that's just the real of it, dude.
Yeah, no, it is, and let's face it. Like, I'm a huge Metroid fan too. Like, Super Metroid's
We're in a Metroid
one of my favorite games of all time. But it's not a game that pushes as many units.
Yeah.
It's a very hardcore gamers game.
It is. Yeah.
Where Animal Crossing is just like I don't know. It's really
so broad.
I don't know how it's reached. Yeah, it just reaches such a huge
so many people, dude.
It's about a game of doing nothing,
like
and chores.
and
It's
chores.
so
It's
funny.
fucking real life, but they do it in the fucking game.
It's like even Billy plays Animal Crossing. I just remember
used
one
to.
day he's always, I just caught a football fish. It was so cash, dude.
It's just, dude, they just
Back in
understand.
like, the DS, right?
Yeah.
They just understand that cycle of just making you feel good and rewarded, and what's the next thing I want. They got that formula down, and because Nintendo's been so silent for all of this year, that has to be their big game,
Like,
because
New
otherwise they have nothing else.
New Leaf was fucking 5 years ago.
It was
Which
5
is
years
insane
ago,
to think about.
and another thing we've mentioned before was like Nintendo, which was a good thing because look how well the Switch is doing. They really blew their load last year.
They did.
They had so many AAA games. They had the Zelda. They had the Splatoon. They re-released Mario Kart. They had Xenoblade Chronicles, Mario Odyssey. Like, what an insane fucking year for a first year.
I think it
of
might
a
be
console.
the best first year for any
I think
console.
it is. I think
ever.
that's for sure.
Wait, was the Switch like it came out last year?
Yeah.
Last year.
What?
So the Switch came out in March 2017, and in its first year, dude, it had Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade,
Insane.
Splatoon 2, like all these crazy just
Arms
knockouts.
was a new IP.
Arms
They
was
just
a new
released
IP.
it. Yeah. Pokemon, was that last year too? Like when they the Pokken, sorry.
It came out in 2016, but the Switch port came out in 2017.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But I'm saying even like these ports, they're a pretty big deal, right?
Yeah.
Like having a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like Mario Kart 8 was an amazing game, but
Oh fuck!
even
I bought
porting
it. It's
it.
It's like one of my most played Switch games.
Switch games, yeah,
It's like
amazing.
required gaming, in my opinion.
So that has to be their big.
I think like my money is on that because like my fucking cat. So and the reason why also I think is it's kind of like there's like a two-pronged approach, right? Because we already know they've said Smash is 2018, so they need a game for the gamers, like the hardcore gamers, and then they need something else like Animal Crossing. It just fits the bill so perfectly,
sure.
dude.
And did they say Smash? Smash is 2018.
Smash is 2018.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
They-
because that's one thing that I think
Coming out this year.
Yeah,
It is,
They
yeah.
said Smash 2018.
I guarantee
in
you
the reveal trailer.
most of this conference is going to be a huge Smash conference.
And they've already kind of said like that what they're like at E3, most of their booth is dedicated towards Smash.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And they've already confirmed that. So it's So it's going to be
I
a big
think
deal.
Animal Crossing is going to be the big release at the end. I think they might say that I think that it's going to start off.
Sprinkle that in right
I
at
think
the
they're going to
very
start
end.
off with Smash Bros. They're going to start sprinkling in other things, probably go back to Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Show more gameplay, and then I think their big one at the end might be
Animal Crossing out fucking October. And dude, and like I know everyone's afraid of Red Dead and Call of Duty this fall, but dude, Animal Crossing fears nobody. That is,
and you know, if it's not October, I guarantee you, because New Leaf came out around February, it would be February of 2019. It would be early 2019. Okay. That's what I would probably have my money on more than this year, because I think Smash is what they're gonna throw all of their cherries on.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
All the coins in that basket.
Yeah, all the coins. Thank you, Bill. Damn, Billy. He looked at me with a dead face when he said that.
Two fucking failed analogies.
So I think that Smash will be the big push this year, and my guess is early 2019 is Animal Crossing.
What's your next prediction, Bear? Let's go.
This is gonna be this is a little bit of a crazy one.
That's what I like.
No
dude.
gameplay,
Give me some curveballs.
But I think actually it's not a crazy one. I think it's I think we're actually gonna see the first trailer for Metroid.
Oh. No, I don't think that's a crazy one at all.
Small chance we might not see gameplay. Good chance, actually. But I think we'll definitely see more of a trailer than we saw instead of floating text.
Right. Well, we just got confirmation that it exists and that there's a logo. That was their unveil.
Of course it exists.
So I think this year, I think there's a good chance that...
Definitely not
You don't
this
think
year.
Gameplay?
Small chance of gameplay,
Definitely
but I think at
CG
least the trailer, to show us what's going on and what Samus's next mission is. Who knows how far in time they did? Yeah. Like, who knows what this game is going to be about? That being said, I'm going to go for a fall 2019 release for Metroid.
I think that's safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way it's... I was watching, I love, Victor Lucas and EPN. I watched his, E3 predictions, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Metroid's this year, 100%." I'm just like, "No way, dude. There's not a chance."
I love Vic, but he can be a one mad man sometimes.
I mean, look, I'd love to be wrong. Yeah, I would love that it's out this fall
and
it looks dope.
I don't think,
I guess I'm just a bit more of a pessimist.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, Nintendo has had a track record. I mean, even with Smash Bros. Of being like, here's this game, you've never seen it before, I've ever heard of it, but it's coming out in 2 months.
That's why they do that shit all the time. That's why I think Animal Crossing has a good chance of it.
It has a good chance, but at the same time, I feel like they just want Smash Bros. To dominate. Sure. I think they're going to put all their marketing on that. I don't think Nintendo, even if they're doing well right now, I don't think they want to dual market a game so close to one another, considering that Smash Bros. Is in September, right? I think that, I don't know.
Well, we don't know if it's in September. Is that one of your predictions?
I thought that's what they were talking about.
Well, I think the rumor, their online service launches in September. And so a lot of people are saying that there's a good chance they're going to launch them simultaneously.
Yeah.
So they're going to launch Smash with their new Nintendo online service.
Yeah. Your next prediction, Retel?
My next prediction. This one's not that crazy, actually. I think this one's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Is that Nintendo introduces new Joy-Cons in more of like a Pro Controller style that it can attach to your Switch.
Pro Controller style. Let me understand this. Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, I understand. So, do you think they're still going to be like two side panels, or you think it's going to be like something you put the screen in and it's like a big...
So, it's like, it could be almost like that, where it's like you just got like this...
This big thing and then just put the screen in there?
I think the thing is, though, is you need to be able to keep them attached and then dock it. So I think they'll need to just attach onto the sides. But yeah, new, more ergonomic, more full Joy-Con controllers.
That makes sense. Yeah. That's not a bad one, because definitely, there have been some issues with Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Definitely the first few batch of Switches. So I'm sure at this point they've probably already had some ideas.
Because I love the Switch. I love playing in handheld mode. But when I play for too long, my hands get cramped, dude. Because you can't really grasp it, like a regular controller.
I do love the fact that you could just detach them and leave them
for sure.
kind of hanging, so that you don't have to keep your hands up. It's really good for extreme lazy gaming. But that's not a bad prediction. I will be quite surprised though. I would expect more of the hardware iterations to start next E3. Well, I think that's where they'll announce a Switch Pro or something.
I don't even think it's an iteration. I don't think it's going to replace the current Joy-Cons. I think it's just going to be like a new option they'll introduce.
I just feel like they're still so around marketing what the Switch is still, but it's cool prediction.
Billy, what's your next prediction, dog?
For what, Nintendo?
The Wii Vitality sensor is
coming
coming back.
What's that?
Oh, no. There's this thing that checks your
With a
heart
new
rate.
With a new horror game, it would be perfect for horror games.
Yeah, I think it would be. I don't know. Shit. I don't follow games that
I know.
much.
I'm just
anymore,
fucking you, dude. I'm just busting your balls.
I think CS:GO is gonna port up with it.
So funny. I was looking through some old pics. It's on my other computer.
Yeah, I saw that one. Like,
And there was one of Billy in front of the CS:GO thing from PAX, and he looked just so happy.
dude, I love that game. I love that game. I still do. No one wants to play with me. Hit me up.
Are we at our crazy prediction yet or no?
I think we have one more
one more?
regular prediction.
So the next one, I guess, was I just kind of lazied out. I kind of already mentioned it for me. I just think that more than half of this conference is going to be about Smash Bros. Or about half of it, I would say, is going to be all Smash Bros. Like they've done in the past. I think when Smash Wii U was first released, they kind of did a whole
pretty much
Smash Bros.
So much
conference.
of it was dedicated
So
to
I
Smash.
think they're just gonna follow the same suit and just make this a Smash Bros. Dedicated one and trinkle in some releases here and some ports here that we don't expect.
guest characters. Any guest characters?
Oh man, I mean,
Snake is off the table.
Of
especially,
course, of
especially
course.
now that
No, no,
Kojima's gone.
no.
No,
I'm not a crazy enough man to call out Snake again. That's definitely done.
It's done, dude.
But yeah, I just feel like with Smash Wii U, they've almost added everyone there is to add.
It's funny,
and
'cause-
like obviously there are some more crazier additions you can go for, but Smash Wii U probably has
They
the
added Cloud into it. Man.
Yeah.
Cloud and they had
It's-
Bayonetta.
it's so fun.
and
I'm
it's
just gonna I'm gonna jump into my very next prediction because it kind of ties into what
Okay.
we're talking about. Is Smash launches this fall with major changes to gameplay or a new very important mechanic? Because and the reason why I'm tying it in is because look at Smash 4. Look at that fucking roster.
yeah.
Look at I know me and you we have our gripes with the way the game
course.
plays and etc. But as a complete package and its presentation and its fucking roster and the amount of just fan service that's in that game, it's like, what is this new Smash gonna be? Is it how much are they just gonna add way more shit? Like
Yeah.
that would be disappointing. I think they honestly need to either maybe not Smash Ball or anything like that, but maybe they need to add something new. Maybe they need to kind of flip the series on its head, redefine how it plays or
That's a
something.
very
like
good point. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this was I
We
don't-
didn't play Smash 4 that much.
that. No,
huh?
we didn't.
We just didn't fall in love
resonate
with
with
it.
us,
yeah.
yeah.
It was not a game to get hyped for. Whenever we would stream or record highlights, it was like, us spiking each other down and
Yeah,
just
so
talking
fun.
shit and just like, the 0 to 100 kills with Captain Falcon and stuff.
And then we would play Smash 4 and I'd be at fucking 250% and no
Yeah.
one can kill me. I'm just like, God damn,
God,
dude.
the
Yeah, it's so
game's-
floaty.
it's
Yeah.
not made for spectating, I feel like.
It can be fun like with a group of 8-player Smash is fun as hell.
That's cool. That's cool.
As a party game, but yeah, as if we really like I don't know, if we really want to sink our teeth into it, it's just there's I don't know. It's not as hype for me.
not as hype, for sure.
But yeah, like to its credit though, Smash 4, like what can they possibly fucking add to this new Smash that Smash 4 didn't already have? Like look
Exactly.
at that fucking roster. Like you were saying, it's got Cloud, it's got Ryu, Bayonetta, Mega Man. It's just
Crazy.
It's such an
even
insane
Mega Man. I remember when
roster,
Mega Man was
dude.
first revealed. Like, what?
It was so sick.
That's insane. Like that's
Right?
that's just crazy. And then Cloud was also so surreal. Like it was
So
starting
insane.
to They really got the mascot characters like from everywhere. It's
and
cool.
it's like
Even Sonic. Remember when Sonic was
Sonic
introduced
was
in Brawl?
introduced in Brawl. I
Everyone
remember-
thought that was like an April Fool's
I
joke.
remember
or
checking
something.
the dojo, dude.
Yeah, the
and-
dojo.
Oh,
my god. I wonder what the numbers were for the dojo.
Oh,
like
dude,
I'm sure
they
the
probably
clicks
killed.
were fucking insane. Because that was like religion back then.
Every day I would check the dojo, man.
Yeah. All right, Retel, let me know your crazy prediction.
So, the rumored Star Fox racing game is also a crossover with F-Zero.
Ooh.
That's my crazy prediction.
That's actually pretty viable, though.
That's
It
very
sounds
viable. You know what? That's actually never even that never crossed my mind.
A
So
man
you
can
think-
dream, man.
No, because
It would
when
be
you
so
think
sick.
about it, I mean, no offense to Star Fox, they're both kind of like dead franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
they
Like
are.
Zero did terrible. Let's
Yeah.
face it. Like it reviewed poorly. I don't think it sold very well. That's probably the last Star Fox game we're getting for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Which
in terms of
one's
standalone. It's called Zero. It was.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the Wii U
It
one.
was a Wii U one.
I
Yeah, it was
remember that
pretty
one.
pretty
It'll-
atrocious.
It'll probably make its way to the Switch at some
F Zero, like we talked about, hasn't had a game in
15 years.
15 years, pretty much almost. Yeah, it's that's very viable. Like, so to bring two franchises that are a little bit, kind of
different, and they're both futuristic. I just
Futuristic,
feel like they would
yeah.
mesh so well. And if you're gonna
Yeah.
like Nintendo, like if they make a Star Fox racing game, like that's one of the big rumors right now, and it's being developed by Retro. They're saying, right? That was one of the apparent leaks and rumors. Like if there's a Star Fox racing game, plus you got Mario Kart, dude, there's no way they're gonna do an F-Zero racing
Yeah.
game.
Oh,
too,
yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah, for
That would be
sure.
the nail in F-Zero's coffin.
It would be.
So if you could bring those worlds together, that's
I'm gonna
what.
be so mad if Star Fox is like a fast, like if it's F-Zero pretty much, but with Star Fox. Because no, F-Zero had that character.
that
roster, yeah, the roster.
McLeod. What was his
McLeod,
name?
something McLeod.
John McLeod or
I
some
forgot,
shit
yeah.
like
But he
that.
obviously was Fox.
He was
Like
Fox,
he had
yeah.
like Fox's outfit and everything. So yeah, I just totally see those two universes clashing. It's not a bad prediction.
Thanks, man.
Not a bad one.
That's not crazy.
It's a Retel original.
I think it's a little bit crazy. It's definitely one that's
a crazy
probably
one, dude. That's
probably
not a
not
lot
going to
of
happen.
No, I don't. I wouldn't.
All right.
I wouldn't bet on that. What's your crazy prediction, Bear?
This was,
This one very
recorded on
unlikely to
May
happen,
18th.
but because the online service is starting, I am going to guess that GameCube Virtual Console will come out in September of 2018 with very few titles to start. Probably Mario Sunshine and like Luigi's Mansion,
Ooh, great games.
and
Those are great games.
just not gonna have like the whole lineup yet. Definitely not Melee, because I think they would leave that. They don't want to take the shine away from the
Do you
new
think it's
Smash
gonna be
Bros.
called Virtual Console though? Because they already kind of like
No,
that, right?
no. I just kind of I referred it to that, but
So-
pretty much like a
some sort of Virtual Console style and bring it
style.
back.
Yeah,
into-
just an online store where you can play old, because you still cannot play Super Nintendo games.
On the
Cannot play
Switch, yeah.
Nintendo games. At the very least, I feel like they're gonna add something like that. But if they want to push units, bring GameCube to that bitch. Let Capcom release Resident Evil 4 on that bitch.
I'd buy it again.
Yeah, hell
like
yeah.
the 20th time.
Dude,
dude.
GameCube was like one of my personal favorites. I mean, obviously Super Nintendo has a special place in my heart, but GameCube was got such an amazing lineup.
I think
of games.
like yeah, it might be one of my favorite. Well, might be one of my favorite Nintendo consoles ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so that and Super Nintendo, like you said.
Yes, that's right. What was that game? I always ask what that game is called.
Which one?
The horror game that like
Eternal Darkness.
Eternal Darkness. I'm always there was another podcast where I forgot the name too.
You must really be a fan.
Yeah, I know. But I just like that had those weird quirky games that were
Yeah.
just like really
They
really
took some
solid.
risks in that generation,
Oh,
man.
The cat is here to
cat- come
to
on.
hang out.
Hey.
Cat.
Okay, it's okay.
Oh, no.
The E3 prediction. Look at this, Billy. Let me rub this on you. But
Get that
yeah,
eczema?
that's definitely my prediction for the thing,
Okay.
and I think it's possible.
I
It
think-
would get brushed on a little bit, but definitely kind of a long shot.
I think it's gotta happen at some point. Maybe it's not gonna be like maybe they won't refer to it as any type of like special GameCube initiative. They'll just release the games. It'll just be called like Super Mario Sunshine Remastered or HD or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
but if they do that, and like Nintendo has had a good track record of remasters, I feel like they would go through an entire thing. Do you want to sit here?
like
here,
Wind
guy.
Waker was like a great example.
Was an amazing
It is
one. That was an
perfect-
amazing one. Yeah.
Perfect.
So I
one.
feel like I don't know.
I'm afraid to knock over some drinks.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good, cat.
Anyways,
Um,
do you think we're gonna see any 3DS coverage? Any new 3DS?
I think we will.
announcements?
Oh yeah,
That,
I think we will.
That system just keeps
It just-
trucking along.
Well,
dude.
when you look at the hardware sold for the 3DS, and you look at the software attach rate
Mm-hmm.
for the 3DS, it's all quite high. Like it does very very well. So I definitely there's going to be something about 3DS. Like I said, the conference is going to be 30-40. This cat, I love this cat. You can't see it on the camera, I don't think. Oh, you kidding? Ratel's side. I feel like there will be. Ratel's taking a picture. Like I think it's going to be mainly Smash Brothers, but there will be some content alongside 3DS,
For
and
sure.
like I said, just a few third-party titles
like
for
we
Switch.
might. I don't know if there'll be any new 3DS announcements, but it'll be like they already announced stuff like Luigi's Mansion
Exactly.
coming to 3DS.
Yeah.
Fuck. That
It's
makes
more
me so
titles
sad.
like that. Yeah, it's
It
crazy.
makes me so fucking
I
sad.
think they're just so
They're putting out the GameCube Luigi's Mansion on 3DS.
But at the same time,
Oh,
Nintendo has to start walking away from the 3DS, even though it's sold amazing,
Yep.
and I know a lot of Nintendo fans are gonna slap me for it. But the Switch is here. The Switch is the new greatest thing.
Embrace it,
And
dude.
the other thing you got to realize is that the 3DS has been software hacked like a motherfucker recently,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
So they're definitely their software attach rate, if
I
anything,
can do yours, Doug.
is gonna go. Yeah,
just joking.
Ratel's the underground modder here. The software attach rate is only gonna go lower at this point.
Yeah.
Right, where the Switch is nice and strong, and will stay well.
Well,
So-
yeah, it's just and the Switch's momentum is so strong. All right, that's gonna be it for Nintendo. Fuck, we spent a long time on Nintendo. Let's move along.
Let's move. I'll move faster.
All right,
Billy's
Next.
here to let us know.
which one do you want to do
Yes.
next?
Let's do Microsoft.
You want to do not Microsoft? Next?
Yeah,
All
I
right,
have some crazy ones for
Ooh,
Microsoft. Well,
okay.
one crazy one is definitely not going to happen, but I'll let you know why I think it still might.
All right, I got a handful. I didn't know which one because I have a couple crazy ones for them.
Yeah. Oh, do you? Okay.
I have a
interesting.
couple crazy because Microsoft is at an
They're-
interesting point
they're
because
very
they're
interesting
losing, right? They're losing. They're still in it, right? They're still making money, right? And they're still doing. I think probably at least on par what 360 did, maybe a little bit less.
Oh no, not much worse than 360. I'm sure.
You think?
Like in terms of sales and software
Dude,
sales.
360 was killing it. In the
360
beginning,
was killing it, but people are really like more games are being bought now than they were 10 years ago. That's just all all I really mean. But they're in such an interesting position in the fact that they're the ones who are more likely to be taking the bigger risks. That's kind of what I'm getting
No,
at.
yeah, that's true.
So-
that's true.
Here's my first one, and I'm going to start off with a crazy one. Xbox Live Service gets a major overhaul. So I think that because right now they're doing the Xbox Live Gold, right? You got to pay for that. It's on a yearly or monthly subscription, right? You get your games with gold with that. And then they have this other service called Games Pass, which they
Yeah.
just introduced.
That's a great service.
And it is a fantastic service. I'm paying for it too. So I think the fact that these two exist, I think they're going to bundle them together.
Wow.
So I think games with gold is going away. You won't get your monthly games with gold anymore, but instead you got the Games Pass. And so that's all going to be bundled together, and then regular online play will go free.
Oh, wow.
They need to make big moves.
I mean,
Wow.
that makes way more sense.
So regular
wow,
online
wow.
play goes free,
Really, you think so?
but Xbox Live Gold
I
with
just-
Games Pass is now their paid
I
service.
just feel like they're making so much money off of their current player base, off of Live. I wouldn't be surprised if they called it something else, but it was like a cheaper bundle for both.
Maybe.
But combining them would be crazy, and making online play free. Holy shit!
Well, look at
I mean, you're right. They do need to make the
They
big
gotta
plays,
make
and
moves.
Xbox has.
look at Steam, right? You look at PC, like Xbox. The Xbox is becoming, with the Play Anywhere initiative and stuff, it's becoming more and more like a PC, right? And so
That's true.
you don't need to pay to play on PC. It's like, why are we paying to play on consoles?
That's true.
And I
That's
think
true.
Microsoft, they're ballsy enough to do it.
No, that's
have
a
the
very
money
good point.
to.
They got the money.
That money too. It's just a crazy thing to imagine
It
of
is.
just knowing how much Xbox Live has made them. Like if you were to probably look at
Oh,
the financial
for
numbers of, just the gain and the traction of that's incredible. That'd be
So that's why it's a crazy one.
that's a crazy one
is a
for
crazy
sure.
one.
Yeah.
What you got?
Very simple ones. I mean, my first ones is just my one crazy ones. That's insane. But I think Halo 6 reveal will happen this E3.
It's
I
pretty
think.
much all but confirmed at this point.
Is
right?
it all confirmed? Okay.
Well,
Why-
I mean, it's not. Well, it's not confirmed. Like,
Yeah.
no one's come out and said, "Oh, Halo 6 is happening," but
I'm gonna tell you
Halo
that
6
now.
is
Halo 6.
Halo 6 is happening.
I mean, 343 is going to come out, and I
Yeah.
think they're going to show us something new, something different. I think Halo
Mm-hmm.
5 was a cool new direction, but it didn't sit well with a lot of hardcore fans.
Well,
It really split the base, right? Because they were trying to go more Call of Duty in some aspects and kind of losing the Halo origin a bit. So the next Halo will definitely be something else. I think they're going to come up with something
They
new.
need to. The Halo 6 needs to be what Halo 6. First of all, they introduced this new character in Halo 5. John, what was his name?
Oh,
Or-
yeah, I forgot,
Not John,
yeah.
but it was some just
I
generic.
know who you're
dude.
talking about,
Nobody
yeah.
liked him, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we want Master Chief. Enough of this bullshit. We want Master Chief,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think Halo 6, but Master Chief has always kind of been a little one note,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think Halo 6 needs to do to Master Chief what God of War for PS4 did to Kratos, right? It needs to bring it in, make it about this character, make it more intimate of a story. And
Do you think they can do that big of a change at this point? Because remember, this is
Well-
ever since Halo 4, that's when 343 took over.
For sure.
And this is their trilogy, right? You can say it that.
no,
Bungie-
343 made Halo 4.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm just saying this is their trilogy.
For
4,
sure.
5, 6.
Right,
That's
yeah.
them. That's so.
That's a good
I'm
point.
saying. So that's. Do you think they want to make a drastic change now, or I feel like they need to kind of almost wait it out for maybe the 7th game for the next
guess
trilogy?
so.
Because I feel like the change now would just be way too much.
But
and
Halo's
way,
hurting. That's all
it's
I'm
hurting.
saying.
It's hurting. But that's also what happens when you have such a oversaturated market,
Mm-hmm.
right? With all these shooters, and Fortnite now is like taking over. I know
Yeah.
it's a third-person shooter, but it's still a shooter, and that's kind of taking all the traction. Even like
CS.
who knows? Even like Call of Duty might suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's already suffered a bit.
It's getting a battle royale mode.
Yeah. So.
What? Really?
Black
Yeah.
Ops 4, yeah.
Dude, they
Ops 4,
have
dude.
to just do something because the trend is just way too big, right? Battle Royale is like the it thing. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Halo
But
6 to reveal, and I want
6 reveal,
343
that's a good
to
bet.
end off their series, have a really good story, and then hopefully the game does well, and hopefully they change up the gameplay mechanics to make it feel fresh and fun to watch is super important
Mm-hmm.
too. And then I feel like they need to start a new trilogy of some sort. They need to look at the series from a whole and be like, what do we do now? Like you said, like what they did with Kratos.
Halo 6 was one of mine, but I have more than that for Microsoft.
Okay.
Here's my next one. A proper new Conquer game gets announced. And here's why, okay?
That's that is my crazy one.
Really?
That's
I don't
my
even think
crazy
it's-
one.
I don't think it's crazy, because here's why. Look, nostalgia's in right now. Nostalgia's hot.
Yeah.
You got shit like the SNES Classic, the NES Classic. Crash just came back and is relevant again. They're doing their Spyro shit. Mascots are platforming.
But those are remakes though, right?
Yeah, but it's showing that these are still marketable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that people are still willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I think, and they've fucked around with it, right? They did put him in Project Spark or whatever the hell that was, and they've never really given him anything more than that, right?
No, they did. I mean, obviously
They
there
kinda-
was
they
a
fucked around
sequel
with
in like
it.
2004 called Live and
Live and
Reloaded,
Reloaded, right.
which was mainly multiplayer centric, but it was a remake of the original game, and there was a really bad remake because the graphics were great. It was a nice, but they censored it.
They did.
You know,
Yeah, I had it.
It just wasn't nearly as funny because of that, and it's just there's some gameplay elements that were really weird.
They
So
put, like,
Conquer
yeah.
never had a real true sequel.
No.
And that was my crazy one that I chose.
I don't even think it's crazy.
But it's just because I felt like every E3 I've been waiting patiently in front of that
For a new
screen
Conquer.
and just waiting for Conquer to show up and for us to get another M-rated gritty game, with more modern comedy. And the original Conquer, you go back, it was really a game of its time where it was making fun of movies of its time.
Yeah.
Matrix,
Matrix, yeah.
and like Saving Private
Saving Private Ryan with
Ryan.
the
And
beach
stuff, but
sequence and
there's
all
just
that
a lot
shit.
of stuff like that where I feel like they can do so much now
Mm-hmm.
with Conquer. And I just feel like Microsoft needs something, right? Like State of Decay 2 just came out, hasn't been reviewing well. Sea of Thieves hasn't been doing well. It's just kind of like
Apparently it sold okay, but
Yeah,
no one's talking about it anymore.
Exactly. It was just because the whole Fortnite craze and everything. It's just Microsoft's trying with these new IPs, and I totally respect them for doing that. They're trying new gameplay elements and new franchises, but they're all just coming up short. They're just all have some flaws that keep them away from being like an 8.59 game. So they need something. Especially with things like Alan Wake being done and, some of their more unique franchises.
Oh, that's right.
And
What is Remedy up to? I
yeah,
wonder.
like Alan Wake is done, Fable's done. They had like so many great franchises that completely got shat on, right? Like, so
Some people think Fable might come back.
it might.
Yeah.
It definitely might, but they would really have to catch up with games like Witcher out, with games like, what do we got? Horizon out.
Yeah, it's hard to compete.
You have to really deliver. Like that market is already so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different time than 2004-5, right? You can't just release Fable 2 and rely on nostalgia.
Yeah,
People are much more critical these days.
I liked Fable too.
I enjoyed
3
it.
was
I
bad.
played the
3 was
shit
bad.
out of 2. I think I got like all the achievements in it and everything, but it was still not as nearly as good as it should
Wasn't
have
as
been.
revolutionary as one.
Yeah.
Well, also it's Peter Molyneux.
Oh, yeah.
So was that your?
That was my
so
crazy
I
one.
had Conquer.
Yeah.
What's your next normal one?
My next one is a trailer or a teaser for Gears of War 5. They're still recruiting members for it. Looking at job listings, they were looking for
Got made here, right?
That is, Coalition
Yeah.
is all in Vancouver, British
right.
Columbia. They're looking for more multiplayer designers, but I think they're at a point now where they have already got a good story and foundation out. I guarantee we're going to see a teaser, whether or not be just the logo, or we'll see maybe Marcus or someone. We'll
Yeah.
just see a character have a conversation, or
James.
just see the next villain. But I think we're
Rom
going to
is
totally
back.
see it. Yeah.
Did you play Gears 4?
Oh, I loved Gears 4.
I liked Gears 4
Gears
a lot
4
too.
was
I played
fucking
it
awesome.
front to back.
Yeah, I was
liked it a
so
lot.
impressed. I was so wary of that game. I was like, man, I think this game is. I'm always a little worried because anytime they introduce like a young cast and they kind of do the whole time
Oh,
skip
it's
thing.
his kid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his kid. I always get worried, right? Ever since Soul Calibur.
MKX.
Yeah, MKX. I mean, Soul Calibur really fucked that up for me.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 5 was like a traumatic experience for me because they just killed off most of the characters. But damn, that game was good. And I actually can't wait to see the future of the next trilogy. And I'm super proud to have them be in Vancouver.
Yeah,
I think
man,
they did
for
such
sure.
a good job. And dude, they fucking embraced the multiplayer. I didn't. Just in a different time of my life where I don't have as much time to go ham on multiplayer. But if I was 10 years younger
You'd be all
and
over
Gears
that
of War
shit?
4 came out, dude, they embraced wall bouncing. They embraced what made Gears
What
1
made it unique, right?
And made it
Yeah.
unique, and they were just like, we're just gonna fucking roll with it. And that was amazing. I was like, fuck yeah, this is what Nintendo needs to do with Smash Bros. Find these little quirks that weren't
Yeah.
designed for what they were, but they made the game super fun.
I'm so hyper right now.
And Ratel's cat is just very excited to hear about
Very excited about this E3
the
news.
E3 conversation. I think he thinks we're arguing, but that's my prediction. Gears of War 5 teased. I'll be really surprised if it's not. Hello, guy.
No.
Does you want to hang out again?
Get.
Ratel,
Get.
Ratel, come on, guy. Do you want to come on me?
No.
It's okay. You can chill with me. You can chill with me.
I get pretty
Here, just lie there.
itchy and stuff in my eyes.
Okay.
Cat.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Where are we at? So do we need
Your next prediction?
my next? Are we on the crazy ones yet or no?
No. One more, I think.
This is a very pessimistic prediction.
Yep.
We do not see anything about Crackdown 3.
Oh, not even a little trailer.
Oh, that game's
Crackdown.
vaporware at this point,
That's
dude.
true. It's probably gonna be garbage.
What the hell is Crackdown?
So Crackdown 1 and 2. Crackdown 1 and 2.
Did I
were
see
very
Terry
good.
Crews again?
Oh, I know they had Terry Crews and everything, man. And but this game it's just been in development hell. It got delayed. They're like, oh, they're gonna introduce all these new systems where it's like all the destruction in the city's like cloud based or some shit like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't know.
You know what's funny? I'll tell you right now.
I don't have a good feeling about it.
Crackdown was a
that's yours.
perfect game for the battle royale treatment before Fortnite did it.
Oh shit!
And I
Yeah,
think
you're
if they
right.
released that game and jumped on the gun, Crackdown would have been for it. Because look at the gameplay, a little bit similar.
Very similar.
Definitely
Art style
Crackdown.
is similar, dude.
Art style is similar. I mean, Crackdown's a little crazier with the high jumps,
Sure, yeah.
but it would be so fun to play battle, and that's what they should have done. But they just took way too long to release it, and that's honestly because my prediction is I think the game's just terrible.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they're just looking at it and they're like, this is not ready. This would be embarrassing with how much.
Sometimes you gotta
promotional money.
not be afraid to put out or to cancel a game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like Scalebound. They had
But
to cancel Scalebound.
sometimes it goes too far into development. I think there's
so.
been too much money invested in Crackdown where they just like, we're already too deep in. We got to release this bitch, but we just got to polish it the most we could.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're at.
We gotta get some money back
Wow.
for this garbage.
Wow.
Well, that's we don't see Crackdown 3. That's my
Yeah.
shitty prediction.
All right, my next prediction, not a crazy one. I think that we're going to see a very extensive demo of Anthem at
Okay.
the Microsoft press
Microsoft.
conference. I think they're going to keep it for Microsoft. I think Microsoft is going to be in partnership for like exclusive DLC for that game.
They're gonna do what
so-
PS4 did for Destiny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to go up on stage. And obviously, they showed us gameplay already.
Yep.
But I think they're going to show something much more extensive, maybe like a boss battle.
I'm stoked for
more
that
intense.
game.
So I think that's going to be a big part of the conference. Because I think, it was a successful reveal for them during Microsoft's conference. People were excited. So for EA to have another kind of franchise that people are actually behind, because, EA's not been having good years.
Yeah.
So I think
Especially in the public mindset. Ooh,
Exactly.
boy.
Exactly. And I think the EA conference, they're probably going to show a trailer and they'll be like, if you want to see gameplay of this game or more of it, we're going to have a trailer during the Microsoft press conference.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Okay. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
So we're on the crazy ones. now
Crazy
for
one. So
Microsoft.
you already know mine.
So Microsoft announces partnership with major third party for exclusive games. I'm thinking something even on the level like back. I don't know if you remember.
You think that's that crazy?
Well, I'm thinking like major partnership. Okay. So like, remember back when Sega stopped making Dreamcast games? They had a big partnership with Microsoft, and they released was it Jet Set Radio? They released Panzer Dragoon. They released Shenmue, all exclusively for Xbox.
That's right.
Shenmue.
That's right. Yeah.
And so it was a big deal. It was a majorly big deal. And I think Microsoft, they don't have the first party studios that Sony has. Just straight up. That's why they're struggling so hard with getting exclusives. So I think they almost need to do something like that.
Yeah, I just wonder who's it going to be with.
It could be
who's big enough to justify that like excitement, like because nobody like who's not doing well. Like I think Sega's doing pretty damn well.
I know Sega is doing well. I know. That's
like I mean, nobody's going to care about Konami at this point.
It might be someone that we don't expect, but who knows?
Okay, really cool. I mean, if a partnership like that were to happen, I would suspect it's something like when Sony had the partnership with Activision. Right, that was a pretty big one. It didn't seem like a big one, but that was what made all the Call of Duty players jump from Xbox to PS4. Yeah. Right, that was like the big. Oh my God, we're gonna get the DLC a month early for them. That's like fucking insane. So and like all the DLC, everything, like even Destiny was a huge deal, right? Like Xbox One.
No one was expecting that game to be as big as it was.
Yeah, and then dude, like weapons like Hawkmoon coming out a year and a half or a year later,
exclusive strikes and shit.
Yeah, exclusive, dude. There was so much more content on PS4 that
I would be pissed if I was an Xbox.
Yeah, I remember by the time like Destiny 2 was out or something. People finally got certain exclusives in Destiny. It was just so late. It was bad. So that I thought was a bigger one than people thought. Mm-hmm. So even if it's like a big one like that, it would be a pretty big deal.
It'd be a big deal. So again, that was my crazy one. That and the Xbox Live service. Those were both. Yeah. Those are both pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, I could totally see that combination of Game Pass just for the same price would be. Whew. That would be insane.
It would be insane.
That would be a really big one.
I mean, Microsoft's doing all these crazy. They're the ones who are pushing cross-platform play, and they're the ones who do the play anywhere thing and pushing backwards compatibility. Like they're doing all these gamer-centric things because they're the ones who can take the risks right now.
And they're smart. They're very smart. I mean, if Sony did the same thing as they're doing with Game Pass with PlayStation Now, I feel like
PlayStation Now sucks.
PlayStation Now is just terrible. Yeah. I'm just saying if PlayStation Now was a similar service like that, much more people would be down for it. So
who should we do next? We have Sony, third party.
Let's do Sony because I didn't really think of much for third party, but I never really brainstormed too much.
I had a crazy one.
Yeah. Okay.
Kingdom Hearts is actually going to be released this year.
Oh,
that is a crazy one.
Like, I'm serious.
They're saying fall 2018. That's what they're saying.
I feel like they're actually going to follow through with it. Or my non-crazy one is Kingdom Hearts is going to get delayed to next year.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not a crazy one.
Kingdom Hearts, I mean, much more playable footage, right? Final Fantasy VII remake's probably going to be another 5 years from now. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't really care about a remake. I'm actually thinking about playing the old game one more time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a good game.
I never played through 2, so I'm curious to play through Kingdom Hearts 2.
All right, can I start with this one?
Let's do it.
This is a simple one. Obviously, we've already seen a bit of it, but I think that someone's going to go up on stage, whether it be Sam Witwer or one of the developers. I think we're going to see like breakdown more of just more Days Gone gameplay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Yeah, Days Gone. They're in kind of a weird situation.
They've been a little bit incognito with it, but I think that they're going to talk about it a little bit more this E3, just as a show. Yeah.
My Sony one, first Sony one. Sony announces a PS1 classic style device.
Ooh, that's a crazy one.
That's kind of I told you I put a lot of curveballs in here. I'm not playing it safe.
Especially considering how decent.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say device or service.
Or service.
Or could it, because the PS1 classics on PS3, Vita, even the fucking PSP. They were dope as hell, dude.
And they have a pretty good library. Like a lot of niche games. Like that Threads of Fate on there. Like pretty good PSN store.
A lot of good games on PlayStation 1, man.
That's
why. Go back, it's like, sure, the graphics might not hold up, but some of the RPGs are fantastic.
One thing I didn't know up until like 3 months ago was the fact that any model of PS3 can actually run PS1 games.
Just the discs.
Yeah, just the discs. I didn't know about that.
That's crazy, man.
And I'm surprised they didn't add that to PS4, but man, can you imagine they walk out there and they're just like, hey guys, PS2 backwards compatibility. Holy shit.
That'd be pretty insane.
But I don't know. I don't think that will happen.
Yeah,
that's a cool one. I mean, I just don't know if Sony gives a shit enough.
I know, but
So,
it's
like-
like,
Me too.
it's so strange for
Make the
them
money
to be. It
already,
was such a
man.
big deal on PS3 for them, right? They had a whole classics section in the store,
Oh,
right?
so good.
And it was
That's
so
true.
dope. And that's just strangely completely absent.
Yeah.
And they're seeing like Nintendo is making a killing off of their retro shit,
True.
right? It's like it just makes sense.
That's
I
true.
don't-
That's true. Because yeah,
Again-
the PS2 remakes on PS4 definitely had a lot more work put into them, right?
Yeah.
They've
Which
added
one?
trophies and
Oh, yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
and then they kind of scaled it properly too. Like it's emulated much better than
Mm-hmm. Right.
PS3. So they called those PS2 on PS4. So not a bad thing. They might do on PS1 on PS4,
Yeah.
right? Fucking best one they would do would be PS3 on PS4. If some people were really willing
Yeah.
to go back and just slightly remaster a few of those games to just look better on 4K displays. Because the problem with the PS3 was that it ran natively at 720p, which was like one of the biggest weaknesses about the system, depending on some games. So a lot of games just never. They don't look nearly as good today.
Yeah.
Is the cat doing okay?
Yeah. Just lying on my notebook, my notepad.
All right, my next
what's your-
one.
what's your
that's
next one?
More gameplay.
Okay.
This is my crazier one that.
Oh, here we
But
go.
I think it's not too insane. It's another gameplay demo of a game you've seen. First gameplay demo of Last of Us 2 live on the stage. I think that they're at a point where they've got the gameplay not done, of course,
Right.
but I think they've
They're
definitely
ready to
got
show something.
sections of the game done.
They got a vertical slice ready for us.
And I think that developer from Naughty Dog is going to come up on stage and show us a section of the game that's going to have us asking more questions.
Druckmann?
Whether or not you're playing as Ellie or who knows,
Joel.
maybe a new character. Actually, I would actually, if I had to predict, I'd actually think there's going to be a new character that they're going to introduce.
Have they shown Joel at all? They haven't, hey? It's only been Ellie.
It's in that trailer where you don't see Joel's face. You see a person walk up, and that's definitely Joel. The first trailer where she's playing the guitar,
Right.
and that's the whole theory comes from that Joel's actually dead, and it's in her mind, and yeah,
Shit's going to go down. In Last
shit's
of Us
gonna go
Part
down, exactly. And I think that there's
Can't
definitely
wait.
gonna be introduction of a lot of new characters. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new protagonist for sure. Yeah.
No, you're probably right on that. Because I think Last of Us, it works so well as like a duo,
Mm-hmm.
right? Having Joel and then having Ellie helping you
Yeah,
out in
and
the
I think
game.
it's gonna be a female,
Yeah.
another female.
Okay. My next one. Sony revives a dormant IP, and my money is on either Jack and Daxter or Siphon Filter.
Ooh, maybe not Siphon.
Maybe
Filter.
not Siphon Filter. But you never
That's a
know,
hard
dude.
one. Jack and Daxter, you never know with,
Yeah.
for sure. Especially with the success of Ratchet and Clank.
What about
Yeah.
Sly Cooper, man?
Yeah, that's a hard one
Well,
too.
they
though.
came back last gen and it did okay.
Thing about Sly Cooper, even more than like Ratchet, I feel like their kids genres have not been doing very good for Sony. So things like Knack,
Yeah.
things like Sly Cooper, actually the last one I know didn't do super hot, and
Wasn't
there was
a bad
one
game,
more
yeah.
one more franchise I totally forgot that they were trying to push, mainly for kids, just haven't been doing super hot.
Yeah.
So I'd be very surprised. I feel like Sony's kind of starting to understand that, hey, we should just really start catering to those mid-20s, early like people in their
But
30s.
I think Jack and Daxter though you can get a bit more serious with them.
I think
right?
so. Not even serious, but like more crack, more jokes, right?
Right.
Like Ratchet, I feel like was kind of the a little bit more mature version
Yeah.
out of all those games.
And Jack 3, Jack 3 was kind of like almost like a darkish game, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I think it could work.
yes.
But I mean, it could be like again. I think they're gonna revive a dormant IP. It could be someone. It could be like fucking Heavenly Sword or some shit. You know what I mean?
Would be crazy.
Would
Would
be
be crazy
crazy.
with the success of God of War. I feel like that's kind of
Probably
like
not.
two
too similar.
factions, and especially of
Medieval?
how small Ninja Theory is their name, I believe. How small that team is. I'm sure they're still feeling themselves off of the high
Of,
from.
Yo, what about Legend of
Hellblade.
Dragoon
Hellblade.
2, baby?
Oh.
That was a good RPG, man.
Yeah, it was.
My last one is not a crazy one. I just think obviously see more Spider-Man gameplay. I think they're just gonna show us a new villain.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
think
they
we're
really
just-
they've only shown Mr. Negative, right?
Yeah, I think they're just showing Mr. So I think we're gonna see the next big villain or the main villain of the game in the next trailer. And I think we're just probably gonna see some gameplay or a trailer, and that's all they're gonna leave it. I don't think they're gonna show us too much of Spider-Man because it's coming out so soon.
It's coming out September? Is that what you
September,
said?
I think.
Yeah.
So usually when Sony's very close to release, they'll show us a trailer to get us going, and I think that's it. But I think we might see, who knows, Venom or just another big villain that more
Interesting.
people are.
I mean,
familiar with.
Venom's got to be the most popular Spider-Man villain.
You know why I
right?
say Venom is because I feel like they want to promote the movie.
too? 'Cause it's Sony, right?
It's Sony, exactly. So I
good point.
feel like they probably were pushing to put Venom into that. So I think that we're just going to see a new villain trailer. That's it. Spider-Man. Let's go.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Your crazy one, Retel. Let's go.
Oh, I'm not on my crazy one yet.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Sony announces a revised PSVR headset,
Okay.
which could mean like we know that HTC they released their
Wireless
one, or they're releasing it this fall.
Yeah.
So I think Sony needs to look at that.
You think that Sony might? Yeah. You know, that's not a bad call of them actually doing that. Obviously, there was a slight revision that came with the Skyrim bundle. Very small
Very
adjustment.
small
Yeah,
revision,
very
yeah.
small revision, but it was still a revision at that. But definitely a solid prediction. Yeah, I could totally see that come. Do you know no price reduction?
Like it's already had two pretty big price
Yeah, I
reductions.
had one that was $100.
I don't think we'll see it go any lower. I think we
Yeah.
need to add. I think that they want to improve maybe some quality of life aspects first.
Yeah, if anything, I feel like a better, because as the years pass, as the months pass, like it's only getting cheaper for them to make PSVR
Right.
headsets, and that's why the price is going down. But I feel like they just need to make they need to rely on their software sales. I think they need to make it as
For sure.
cheap as they possibly could. It's already not that expensive a device, but the more accessible PSVR is, I think just in general, the more successful VR is, right?
For sure.
Because let's face it, like there's not many people who can run VR rigs on PC, right? I feel like the Vive and the Oculus is a little bit more friendly too, but they require
They
some
still
beefy,
require a good CPU, GPU, man.
exactly,
You need a good rig, for
beefy,
sure.
beefy ass PCs, and even the Vive needs more space than the PSVR does. I
Yeah.
feel like PSVR is one of the biggest things that all of VR is banking on. I feel like the more successful that is, the more successful altogether VR and VR developers are. So,
I like one thing I really hope for is that I hope Sony brings some really good exclusive VR games. Like they did Moss, and they get Wipeout VR is dope as hell, as we were talking about. Bear just tried it right before this. but
oh, amazing!
I hope
Holy
they-
shit.
I hope they
Wipeout
bring-
VR was the craziest shit. And I played a good amount of VR games. You know, like at work we have access to everything because we have like a Steam journalist account, whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
So I tried like the best stuff on Vive, but damn, that was cool.
Yeah, Wipeout VR. So
Wipeout
they need to
VR.
bring out I want to see Sony
Do games like that.
do more software, for sure.
Yeah.
What's your crazy one?
Crazy one is I remember it already. It's the first gameplay for this is insane
Oh shit.
for Death Stranding.
Yeah, we'll see that game in 2021, dog.
I think because we've been seeing it. Has it been every conference so far? We've seen it.
They gotta stop making fucking trailers.
I know. And that's why I feel like this is kind of the end of the trailer point. I think people have had enough of that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
and all Kojima's crazy cryptic messages. We're gonna see the first gameplay of how that game runs.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a small snippet. The game's still far away. It might get a release date, but I think the gameplay is gonna come this.
I think that's a fairly safe bet. It's either gonna be
And
gonna
it's
be
gameplay.
gameplay, or it's not gonna be there at all.
Yeah, exactly.
no way they're not gonna
If
just
they
show
do
another
another
fucking
trailer, I'll
trailer.
be shocked. But that's why my prediction is a little far fetched, because I think I'm going for the gameplay. I think they're gonna show us what the fuck we're gonna do. You know, I don't think there'll be like a full on diverse breakdown or anything, but I think it's gonna be just like a short snippet that's gonna lead to something questionable. That obviously every Kojima game has some,
Yeah.
mysterious shit that you gotta call Nicolas Cage for and shit. Like it's just some, it's there's
Nicolas
a lot of
Cage
code.
will be in the game too.
Who knows? Yeah, who fucking knows? So that's my prediction. It's a crazy one. A lot of
It's a
people are gonna say hell no to that,
Yeah.
but
Well, I mean, that's why we want to throw in these crazy, fucking impossible. This next one's impossible. This next one is never gonna happen.
don't say Twisted Metal on PS4 because we know that ain't gonna happen.
Why not?
Then David Jaffe shows up.
Yeah, no,
in an ice
not
cream
after
truck.
Drawn Together. I love you, David. I'm a big David Jaffe fan, but yeah, I just knew Drawn Together was not gonna.
Rip in peace.
Yeah.
Sony changes its stance on cross-platform play.
Ooh.
Told you it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, literally, they are the only thing standing in the way right now. From the
are.
beautiful fucking future, maybe
are.
it'll happen one day, where someone can be playing on their Xbox, another person playing on their Switch, another person playing on their PS4, and they could all play together.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty big reveal for sure.
Like already on Switch, you can be playing Rocket League with someone on PC, which is crazy.
Which is crazy.
I mean,
yeah.
you can technically play Final Fantasy
15, 14.
14. Yeah, my
With
bad.
people, yeah. There are some games that have like loopholes through servers and stuff, but definitely is one thing that. Yeah, it's hurting, man. It's hurting because it needs to all open up, and it's weird. Yeah,
Especially like when I'm like our boy Lou, man. He's there gaming on his Xbox One, and we're all PS4 gamers.
So I feel like that could definitely happen, and they could open up. I just don't think that Sony would come out and say it in a conference. Why? Because it's gonna come out, and it's gonna come across, and it is the fact that they were part of the problem of why it hasn't happened yet. So they'll come out. It's like, hey guys. We're into cross-platform play, and then everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck? Everyone's been into this for so long now. What's wrong with you guys?"
So that's taking so long.
It's just gonna be one of those like almost negative reveals that would turn against them.
No, don't get me wrong. This never. I don't even know if it will ever happen with Sony.
Maybe
Maybe not in this generation. Not in this generation.
It's weird because like they were so. They seemed at least more open with it. I guess with PC they always were. You know, like they had Portal 2 was cross-platform during PS3.
Yeah. And I mean, right now in Street Fighter 5, you could play with someone on Steam.
Yeah.
On PS4, so it's very weird. There's so many little stipulations where it's weird. You know, it works here but not there, and it's so dumb. All right, let's jump into our last category. We're running long here.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's get through this. Third parties. So you said you don't have too many for this?
No, I didn't really even make a list for this, but. Let's go for Ubisoft first.
Oh, okay.
Because I think that we're gonna.
I don't even have one for Ubisoft.
I think that we're gonna see a lot more of Beyond Good and Evil.
I
think that was a pretty big.
Was it coming back?
You didn't hear about this, Billy?
No,
You're a year behind. Beyond Good and Evil is happening.
It's happening
wow.
finally after all these years.
Dude, and it looks dope.
Yeah, and this is a safe prediction. It's not a super. But I don't think we're gonna see gameplay yet. I'd be very surprised because the game they were showing us how early it was.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see another trailer, maybe more about the actual story and the premise of the game.
Get an idea of what it's going to be like.
Yeah. And I think Ubisoft's probably going to end their conference with it again.
I'm looking forward to Ubisoft's conference, man, because theirs last year was so
really
sick.
Good.
It was
really
good. Arguably one of the best.
I'm a big fan of Ubisoft, but I mean, I definitely want to see that documentary about the creator of For Honor that was recently talked about. There's a few articles on that where they kind of took his baby away from him, and I need to see that. If it's playing in some film festival here, I need to see of like how Ubisoft treated him before I really start praising the company more. It's a very, a lot of people hate the company. You talk to a lot of hardcore gamers, they've made some crap games too, but I feel like they're one of the few companies left who are taking risks and are throwing out new ideas, and I love them for that.
Yeah.
Billy, thank you for being here, by the way.
Yeah. You're a champ, Billy. I told you could welcome to sit this one out. No, I'll sit it.
No, I'm glad though. I love having Billy here, man.
Oh, what?
I've actually missed.
I didn't pay attention.
Yeah. Go ahead, Retel.
A Final Fantasy character is announced for Soul Calibur 6.
Yes,
Ooh.
Sephiroth.
We already know we got Noctis in Tekken 7, and we got Final Fantasy 7 remake on the way. If it's going to be a Final Fantasy character, I think it would be Sephiroth.
It has to be. It's a Soul
With
Calibur
a sick ass sword, dude.
Or my boy Barrett, bring a gun to a sword fight, baby.
Oh.
Kill everyone.
Oh, God.
Billy. Fucking
Because Soul Calibur's
That's why we
always
have
been about the guest characters.
It
Soul
has?
Calibur, they had fucking Link. They had Heihachi.
Wait, they had Link in the
They
game?
had Link in Soul Calibur 2, dude. Way back in the GameCube.
Oh, really?
They had fucking Darth Vader and Yoda.
Yo, let's never forget that Kratos was part of Soul
They had
Calibur.
Kratos. So
Yeah.
they're not afraid to do these crazy crossovers.
Kratos was in Mortal Kombat
He
as
was,
well.
too.
It was like
Yeah.
That's funny.
So-
You need Barrett.
We
man.
already have Geralt, right, from The Witcher,
Alright, okay.
who's going to be in Soul Calibur 6. But I think it's crazy enough to happen. We've already shown in Tekken 7 they're not afraid to do multiple guest characters in one game, right? They had Akuma, Geese, and
true.
fucking Noctis all in the same game. So that's fine.
Interesting.
That's one of them. I think it'd be cool, man.
Yeah, I don't know what else for third. I guess there's EA, Ubisoft, Bethesda is big. Okay, you know what? Here's a prediction. I'm gonna guess. It was in that leak list, but I was thinking about it. But that leak list seemed mad suspect.
Did.
I'm gonna expect a Fallout 3 anniversary
Right.
edition because this is 10 years.
this fall, man. 10 years
10
for
years?
Fallout 3.
I think they're probably gonna announce it on their conference
for sure.
because I don't think I don't think other developers care that much, and I think it's gonna be on the Switch. Probably do a PS4 port as well, but I think it mainly on Switch being a big one to run on because I think it would sell really well and
Out of everything on that leak list, I'm just like, you know what, that sounds legit.
yeah.
You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like it's just also the right timing, and then they can feel out how it does and eventually release New Vegas in the same kind of fashion.
While we're on Bethesda, The Elder Scrolls 6 is finally revealed.
I hope. I
You know what? The timing would make sense, right?
Right? They bounce back and forth between Fallout and Elder Scrolls, right?
That's true.
They've done that for the past 15
I
years.
think we'd get a teaser for it or a
for
trailer.
sure.
Yeah,
It'll be a teaser. We're not going to get much.
Yeah.
I'll be
but
out
we'll
next
get,
Christmas.
We'll get something
Not this Christmas, next Christmas.
for sure.
You know the funny thing about Skyrim that it was announced during the VGAs of like 2010 or 9 or
Jesus.
something. But that's actually that's very very valid
think
and
it's
it
time.
would work out and it would cause huge traction,
Yeah.
right? Like it would if it's a big enough reveal and they have a other good press conference. I feel like they could win the show with that.
And
Of how
man,
big Elder
Bethesda's been silently killing it for the
have been.
past 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
man. And because a lot of people, it's so funny, a lot of people gave them shit for last year's conference because I guess so many people wanted a new Elder Scrolls and they wanted it now, right? But what we got instead was stuff that they only showed stuff that was coming out this year. And so, but that to me was actually really sick because they announced Wolfenstein 2 last year, out that year.
That year, yeah.
And I'm just like, that's dope as hell, dude.
They definitely got a lot of shit for having a lot of Skyrim ports. They felt
Right,
like they
right,
were
right.
just talking about this game. that
Skyrim
was,
VR, Skyrim
yeah,
on
that was
Switch.
just pretty much almost 10 years old.
Skyrim
So,
on
but I mean,
your,
DS.
your calculator.
Exactly.
Texas Instruments
like
has been partnered.
Bethesda's a company. I mean, it's cool that they do it, but they can probably get away without even having a conference.
Yeah.
But when they do, I remember the Fallout one was a huge deal for them because they just that year
gigantic.
announced it's coming out that year. I don't think they're gonna do the same with Skyrim. It has been a few years, but the fact that Red Dead is coming out this year,
Oh,
I don't think they want to get near that territory. If anything, I would say
Next year.
fall of 2019.
Yeah.
Christmas.
It's a fall game for sure.
Yeah.
Christmas.
You got another one, Bear? If not, I can go.
You could go for another one. Yeah, I don't think I have. I think I'm dry like Retel's dick.
Or my eyes
for
from
now.
the cat.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 Remake is finally revealed out in January 2019.
Good one, but where though? Like Capcom doesn't have
It would
conferences.
I know, it would show up at Sony.
Sony. Okay.
Same place Resident Evil 7 showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Resident Evil 7 also launched in January.
That's
Worked
fair.
out very well for them.
I did. Oh, Resident Evil 7 was very proud of them for making a good game finally.
Yeah.
All right.
And they've announced this game. We've known it's happening, but it has been radio silent for probably like 3 years.
It's true. And it was announced during that anniversary stream or whatever it was. Yeah, I mean, hell, we might even see like just snippets of Mega Man 11. And yeah, that's a good one, actually. That's a very, very good one. I feel like that's definitely...
Yeah, I think it's time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. And this is my last crazy, fucking batshit crazy prediction.
Thank God.
It's fucking insane. It's never going to happen. Capcom relaunches Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh my god!
Actually,
I
that's
was
not that far
yo,
fetched, man.
I was so I was typing that out, but I was like, no,
No, it's too crazy.
no, it's just like
The game's done.
yeah, like Mario will release on Sony before maybe that, but you know what, man?
It'd make a lot of people happy. It would make me happy.
Listen, the problem with Marvel Infinite was obviously there's a lot of shit that they rushed that they were garbo with. But the second thing, when you really think about it, was timing.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they release that game in September? Put some more money into that bitch. Release it a week or a month before Avengers. Release it a month after
They
Avengers.
were so dumb with it. They mishandled the
you
shit out of it. Dude.
motherfuckers, man! You guys were so stupid.
That roster was ass.
And yeah, they
It
should have.
looked like shit.
It looked like shit. The roster was shit. They should have had the DLC that was planned with Star-Lord. Obviously, they should have included Black Panther and Monster Hunter in that.
in the
Like,
original. Oh my god,
Yeah.
the roster was so insanely.
yeah, man, I
bad.
paid $40 for those characters because they got me with Monster Hunter and Black Panther. I love those two
Those are
characters.
good characters.
But
Yeah, is the game still going? Like are there more DLC?
It's
It's
either
been radio silent. For
it's either there's something
most of
announced,
2018 rather.
or they're gonna shut down the servers end of this year,
So
which would be the most craziest thing ever.
It'd be the end of the Versus series as we know it.
Yeah, it would be, because even the creation of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was already such a big deal.
Yeah.
The fact that it was happening, and after Disney's acquiring it, and the fact that they were still cool enough to partner, that was an amazing thing to happen. But Capcom, man, how do you mess up with the biggest franchise right now that's breaking world records for movies? You know, even before Avengers came out, like, these movies were doing so well. How?
That shit was a
How?
gimme, dude. It was a gimme.
It was
printed money. And it was crazy too. Is like,
how?
I remember back on the 360 when they ported MVC2, right? And they put it on Xbox Live Arcade and all that shit. It sold 2 million copies.
It did. It was a huge deal.
Just on XBLA. Just not even trying. It's just a
Yeah.
fucking port with some online.
Insane.
And it's like, people give a shit about these characters.
They care, man. And you know, like I've mentioned before, the audience is so much more critical now. So when a game is bad, you know, and you're just trying to rely on the IP, people are gonna know. People read reviews. You know, it's super important. People are constantly watching influencers. YouTube is super important, right? Because perception of games, like, people are reviewing them right away. They're getting codes early.
Word of mouth spreads faster than it ever has.
Exactly.
And you need something. You need positive.
And
buzz,
that's
man.
why developers are not
gotta make a
taking
good
risks.
game.
Yeah, that's why you don't see as much creativity as you did maybe 10 years ago, where games like Dead Space were coming out, games like Mirror's Edge were coming out. Because, you know, obviously it's just so much more. People are so scared of taking risks because there's been so much bullshit. So it's just that one would make me really happy to just see the game get one more chance.
Yep.
But fuck,
Second lease of
Capcom,
life,
you
but
have
fuck.
you have to step your shit up. You have to stop messing around. How do you mess up after Street Fighter and do the same thing again? I can go on about this forever, but that's
gonna be it for our E3 predictions.
that is it.
We are 2 weeks, as of the airing of this episode. We are 2 weeks removed from E3, and I can't wait for it. It's gonna be awesome. We'll see how our predictions did.
Yeah, we might do a live stream of our reactions. We'll see.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, we'll see.
Again, I have the week off. Bear,
Yeah, I need to see my schedule because E3 is kind of crazy for me.
When is this?
E3, man.
No, when is it?
Oh, when?
So-
Okay.
it's,
What is this? I'm like, damn, Billy.
The
Was...
second weekend of second weekend of June.
Yes.
I'm probably gonna take every weekend off for June, just to
Woo, just hang around.
Yeah. 'Cause I need a break from work.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, that is gonna be it
Yeah.
for episode 97.
Woo!
On the top tier. Oh fuck! I think episode 100 is E3 week. Oh my goodness.
It's not gonna happen.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, that's
we'll,
okay.
We'll plan it out. We'll plan
Yeah.
it out.
We only need the first few days of that week.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks Billy. Thanks Bear. Thanks to you guys. Peace out.
Woo! I did so much this podcast.